You think you've seen every survival trick out there, the same old tips, repeated in every book, every video, every forum. But what if I told you there are survival hacks so effective, so quietly powerful, that most preppers never share them? These aren't the tricks you'll find on flashy checklists or in overpriced survival manuals. These are the hidden ones, the methods passed quietly between old-timers, field-tested in real emergencies, and kept secret because once you know them, you'll never look at survival the same way again. And here's the truth. In a real collapse, it isn't the obvious gear that saves you. It's the small tricks, the overlooked skills, the things no one expects you to know. Because while everyone else fumbles with broken gear and outdated advice, you'll have the edge that keeps you alive. Stay with me because I'm about to reveal 8 hidden survival tricks you were never supposed to know. Number 1. Using crayons as emergency candles. You can smell it the moment the paper wrapper starts to burn. That faint, waxy smoke, the soft orange glow flickering in the dark, the surprising steadiness of a flame rising from something meant for coloring books. In normal life, crayons are tied to childhood messy hands, bright drawings, broken tips scattered on the floor. But in a blackout, that same crayon can transform from toy into torch. For many, the idea feels ridiculous. A child's art supply as survival gear? It sounds like a joke. But for anyone over 50 who remembers the long nights of past blackouts, this hidden hack can be the difference between stumbling in darkness and keeping your family calm. Here's the truth. Crayons are made mostly of paraffin wax, the same ingredient in many candles. Wrapped in paper, they're ready-made wicks waiting to be lit. One crayon can burn steadily for up to 30 minutes, longer if protected from drafts. Line up a handful, and you've bought yourself hours of light in the middle of a blackout. That's time to cook, to ration, or simply to reassure frightened children. And the danger doesn't announce itself. You won't hear the silence of dead batteries. You won't see the darkness creeping until the last bulb flickers out. You won't feel the panic until you're groping blindly for a match. This isn't theory. Survival forums and disaster reports are filled with stories of families using crayons during storms when flashlights died and candles ran out. The hack works, and it's saved more than a few nights. Stack the benefits. Crayons are cheap, lightweight, and common in nearly every household. Unlike liquid fuels, they don't spill. Unlike glass candles, they don't shatter. And because they're meant for children, they're often non-toxic, giving one more layer of reassurance in a pinch. And here's the cruel twist. Most people walk past them in dollar stores and school aisles, never realizing they're holding emergency candles in disguise. Instead, slip a small box into your bug-out bag or glove compartment. Pair them with waterproof matches or a lighter, and you'll never be caught completely in the dark. Because in collapse, light isn't luxury. It's security, warmth, and morale. So the next time you see a box of crayons, don't just think of coloring books. Think of survival. Because when the grid goes dark, even a child's crayon can outshine the night. Number 2. Plastic bottle as a water filter funnel. The moment the knife cuts through the plastic, the crinkle of the bottle, the sharp snap as it bends, the hollow echo when you flip it upside down. In everyday life, a plastic bottle is just trash tossed aside without thought. But in survival, that same bottle can transform into a hidden lifesaver. For many, bottles are tied to road trips, vending machines, or half-finished drinks left in the fridge. But for anyone over 50, with memories of boiling water on old stoves or hauling jugs from the store during shortages, this hack becomes more than clever. It becomes critical. Here's the truth. Clean water is the number 1 survival need. Without it, dehydration sets in within days, faster for seniors with weaker kidneys or those on medications. But in a collapse, bottled water disappears, rivers and lakes run dirty, and trusting your eyes can mean swallowing parasites. That's where the plastic bottle funnel hack steps in. Cut the bottom off a bottle, flip it upside down, and layer inside with cloth, sand, charcoal, and gravel. What was once trash is now a working gravity filter. As water drips through, it strips out sediment, dirt, and even some bacteria. It won't match a store-bought purifier, but it buys you a chance to boil afterward, a chance to survive. And the danger doesn't announce itself. You won't hear Giardia swimming, you won't see E. coli hiding, you won't feel cryptosporidium until the cramps, fever, and dehydration hit hard. This isn't theory. The CDC and WHO have documented outbreaks where unfiltered water crippled entire communities. Yet field reports also show improvised filters buying enough time to save lives until better purification was found. Stack the benefits. Plastic bottles are everywhere, easy to cut, lightweight to carry, and in collapse, people throw them away not knowing their value. But in the right hands, they become life-saving tools, traded like currency. And here's the cruel twist. While others toss their bottles, you'll know their hidden worth. Instead, practice this hack now. Keep charcoal on hand, carry a small knife, and remember the layers. Because when collapse hits, your survival may drip slowly, one drop at a time, through the funnel of a bottle no one else thought to save. Number 3. Steel, wool plus battery instant fire starter. That faint crackle, the tiny hiss, the sudden glow as fire races like lightning through fragile threads of steel. In everyday life, steel wool is for scrubbing pans, and batteries are for remote controls. But in survival, the two together become one of the fastest, most shocking fire starters you'll ever see. For many, fire means matches, lighters, or fancy ferro rods. But anyone over 50 who remembers blackouts, winter storms, or camping trips knows the cruel truth. Fire-making tools fail, matches get wet, lighters freeze, ferro rods take skill, and in freezing collapse, when your fingers are stiff and your time is short, a hack this simple can save your life. Here's the truth. Fine-grade steel wool is highly conductive. Touch it to both ends of a 9-volt battery, and the current races through the fibers. The strands glow red-hot, igniting instantly. Stuff that ember into dry tinder, and within seconds you have a flame strong enough to grow. Even AA or AAA batteries, paired with the right technique, can spark the wool into ignition. And the danger doesn't announce itself. You won't hear the lighter fail. You won't see the matches ruined. You won't feel the hypothermia creeping until you realize your only chance for fire is gone. This isn't theory. Hikers, campers, and even firefighters have demonstrated this hack countless times. Search and rescue instructors often teach it as a last-ditch method, because when conventional gear betrays you, steel wool and a battery can still deliver flame. Stack the benefits. Steel wool is cheap, lightweight, and common. Batteries are everywhere: remotes, radios, flashlights. Together, they turn everyday scraps into survival fire. And here's the cruel twist. Most people throw these items away. Used batteries, rusty steel wool, trash in a normal world, treasure in a cold, dark one. Instead, tuck a small roll of steel wool into your survival kit. Pair it with fresh batteries sealed against moisture. Practice once, so when the time comes, you won't hesitate. Because in collapse, fire isn't just heat, it's light, morale, cooking, and survival. One spark, one ember, one secret hack, that's all it takes to turn the cold into warmth again. Number 4. Tampons and pads as medical gear. The soft rustle of sterile cotton, the faint crinkle of plastic wrapping, the surprising weight of something most people never think twice about. In everyday life, tampons and pads are tied to personal hygiene, but in survival, they become hidden medical gear lifesavers disguised as everyday products. For many, the idea feels strange, even uncomfortable. But for anyone over 50 who's lived through shortages, disasters, or war stories told by older generations, the truth is clear. You don't throw away what can save a life. And these ordinary items carry hidden power most preppers overlook. Here's the truth. Tampons and pads are sterile, absorbent, and individually wrapped. That makes them perfect for wound care. A tampon, compressed and sealed, can plug a deep puncture wound, slowing blood loss until real treatment is available. A pad can cover a larger cut, absorbing blood while protecting the wound from dirt and infection. In emergencies where proper dressings are gone, these hygiene products turn into first aid essentials. And the danger doesn't announce itself. You won't hear the bleeding worsen. You won't see the bacteria entering. You won't feel the infection until fever takes hold and weakness sets in. This isn't theory. Soldiers in multiple wars, from Vietnam to Iraq, have improvised with tampons and pads in the field. Search and rescue teams have confirmed their use in emergencies when medical kits ran dry. They are not a replacement for professional gear, but they can buy time, and in survival, time is life. Stack the benefits: sterile packaging, high absorption, lightweight storage, and wide availability. Together, they're not just hygiene products. They're backup medical tools most people ignore. And here's the cruel twist. Stores sell out of survival gear during crises, while shelves of tampons and pads often stay full. Those who know their hidden use can walk away with life-saving supplies while others overlook them. Instead, slip a box into your emergency kit. Keep them sealed, dry, and ready. Pair them with tape, bandages, and disinfectant for maximum effectiveness. Because in collapse, Survival isn't just about fire and food. It's about stopping the bleed, protecting the wound, and buying yourself another day. What most people laugh off could be the very hack that keeps you alive. If these hidden tricks shocked you, imagine what's still coming. The next survival hacks aren't just clever, they could be the difference between life and death when the system fails. Don't wait until it's too late. Hit like to spread this knowledge, and smash that subscribe button right now, because the people who know these secrets will always be one step ahead while everyone else is left in the dark. Number 5. Duct tape as survival armor. You can hear it the moment the roll peels. That sticky rip, the metallic echo as it stretches, the sharp snap when it tears free. In normal times, duct tape is for quick fixes, sealing boxes, patching leaks, or holding something together just long enough. But in survival, that silver roll becomes more than a tool. It becomes armor. For many, duct tape is tied to home repairs, school projects, or a handyman's cliché. But for anyone over 50 who has lived through storms, shortages, or blackouts, duct tape isn't a joke. It's one of the most versatile survival items you can carry, and one of the most overlooked. Here's the truth. Duct tape can stop disaster before it spreads. Rip your jacket in freezing weather? Tape seals it before cold air steals your warmth. A boot sole splits? Tape keeps your feet dry and safe from frostbite. Need a splint for a broken finger? Tape turns sticks into medical support. Even leaks in water bottles or tents can be patched long enough to buy time. And the danger doesn't announce itself. You won't hear the shoe falling apart. You won't see the fabric giving way. You won't feel the weakness until exposure or injury hits harder than you expected. This isn't theory. FEMA, the CDC, and even military field manuals list duct tape as a must-have supply in emergency kits. In disaster zones, survivors have used it to bandage wounds, build shelters, even fashion makeshift weapons. Stack the benefits: waterproofing, insulation, medical improvisation, gear repair, and even barter value. Together, that silver roll isn't just tape. It's protection. And here's the cruel twist. People laugh at it. They treat duct tape like a handyman's punchline. But in collapse, when everything else fails, a single roll can become the difference between shivering in the dark and making it through another night. Instead, stash multiple rolls in your kit, car, and home. Because in deadly times, duct tape isn't just sticky plastic. It's survival armor, and the smart survivor never leaves home without it. Number 7. Keys and everyday items as self-defense tools. That simple weight in your hand, a ring of keys, is more than metal. It's an instant toolkit for getting away. Ordinary objects you carry every day can create space, noise, and time, the three things that turn a dangerous moment into a survivable one. This section isn't about turning you into a fighter. It's about turning the everyday into a practical, legal, and immediate advantage so you can escape whole. Start with sound. A loud, sustained alarm draws attention faster than a shout. Attach a compact personal alarm or whistle to your keys and practice using it reflexively. When noise erupts, witnesses look up. Predators hate attention. For older adults, buying those extra seconds with a whistle or alarm reduces the risk of physical confrontation and the medical fallout that follows. Light is another weapon you already own. A bright pocket flashlight exposes hidden approaches and ruins an aggressor's advantage. Keep one in a nightstand and another clipped to your keys. In a dark parking lot, sweeping a beam across faces and license plates does two things. It helps you identify escape routes and signals to bystanders that something's wrong. Create distance with everyday barriers. An umbrella, heavy thermos, or large tote isn't a weapon, it's a buffer. Hold these items between you and danger as you back away. A bulky object changes an attacker's angles, slows pursuit, and gives you room to move towards safety. For seniors, that reduced contact can mean fewer injuries and a quicker exit. Use surprise and distraction, not force. Tossing keys to the ground to create noise or dropping a bag to force a moment of confusion buys time to run. Carry a small flashlight with a strobe mode. A sudden burst of light disorients and breaks focus long enough for you to flee. These tactics prioritize escape over escalation, lowering the chance of defensive injuries that heal slowly with age. Practice simple routines. Keys in hand when walking to your car, whistle accessible on a zipper, flashlight ready in the bedroom. Rehearse loud, clear commands. Stay back, help, so your voice becomes a tool, not a panic reflex. Train neighbors or family on the signal you'll use. Real protection is legal, immediate, and about preserving your health. Ordinary items won't make you invincible, but used smartly, they make survival more likely. If this shift in thinking helped you, hit like and subscribe next up. We turn a kitchen knife into a last resort tool for shelter and survival. Strictly safety first guidance. Number 8. Salt as a hidden survival multi-tool. Salt looks like a humble pantry staple, a shaker on the table, or a small sack tucked on a shelf. In ordinary times, it seasons food. In collapse, it becomes a multi-purpose tool that can save meals, heal wounds, and buy you leverage when everything else loses value. First, preservation. Before refrigerators, salt cured meat and fish, stopping spoilage for weeks or months. That simple science drawing moisture out to deny bacteria, a home turns a single harvest or catch into stored calories that matter when supply lines die. For older adults who can't haul supplies constantly, preserved food means steady nourishment instead of emergency trips that expose them to risk. Next, practical medicine. A saline rinse cleans wounds better than dirty water when sterile supplies are gone. It lowers infection risk and buys time until proper care is possible. Measured oral rehydration with salt and sugar restores electrolytes lost to vomiting or diarrhea, a targeted lifesaver for seniors on diuretics. But take care, too much salt worsens hypertension, so dosing must be precise. Salt also fights the elements. A light scattering melts thin ice, clears walkways, and prevents falls that often lead to fractures in older bodies. It disinfects surfaces, helps draw out infection when used in poultices, and, in a pinch, preserves hides or other materials for shelter or trade. The economic angle is brutal and historic. Salt has been currency for centuries. When supply chains collapse, salt stores indefinitely and retains value. 1 kilo can become a trade unit for food, medicine, or favors real leverage when cash and cards no longer function. There are limits and risks. Salt spills attract rodents, overuse corrodes metal and soil, and excessive dietary salt threatens those with heart conditions. That's why knowledge matters. Know when to use it, how much to use, and when to avoid it. Practical prep advice. Store coarse salt in sealed, waterproof containers. Keep small measured sachets for oral rehydration. Consider cured salt blocks for long-term preservation. Label a tub exclusively for wound care. A small manual grinder lets you change coarseness on demand. Simple, cheap, and ancient, salt won't dazzle on a shelf. But in a true collapse, it outperforms shiny valuables. Learn its uses, respect its risks, and you'll hold one of the oldest survival tools today. Now you've seen the truth. Survival isn't just about stockpiling gear. It's about knowing the hidden tricks, the ones no one talks about that turn ordinary objects into lifelines. A crayon becomes a candle. A bottle turns into a water filter. Even salt, overlooked and ignored, becomes food, medicine, and currency all in one. And here's the harsh reality. When systems collapse, the people who don't know these hacks will struggle, panic, and fall behind. But you now hold knowledge that gives you the edge. For anyone over 50, where every ounce of energy, every small injury, every lost day matters more, these tricks aren't cool tips. They are survival. Don't let this be the last edge you gain. Hit like if this opened your eyes, and smash subscribe right now because the next video may carry the one trick that saves your life.